Hey, what's up? Kalen here, and in this video I want to talk about asking people if they would pay for your product. So as you are bootstrapping your software product, you're asking people for feedback on it in the early stages, and initially you're asking friends and family, that kind of a thing. And so a couple things you want to avoid. For one thing, asking friends and family, people you're close to, if they're not really like in the category of a potential customer, you want to take that feedback with a grain of salt, like a massive grain of, like a rock of salt. Take that feedback with a rock of salt. And then the people that are within, potential customers, when you ask them for feedback on it, human nature is that they're going to want to be positive and be nice about it. So by default, they're going to say, "Oh, that's a really cool idea," And it's not that they're trying to mislead you or anything like that. It's just human nature to say that. But what you really want to, and then so sometimes what happens is you get that feedback. You go, "Oh man, everybody loves this idea." You launch it. And then boom, and then it's like, wait a second, why isn't anybody paying for this? How about the people that told me it was a great idea aren't paying for it? Why not? And so that's where in that feedback stage, I think that you want to just straight up ask, like, is this something you would pay for? And that takes the question, that takes it beyond that, this is nice in theory kind of stage to how serious, like, is this really filling a concrete need for them that they'd actually pay for it. And then if you really want to get crazy, go ahead and get a credit card on file. It's not that hard to do with Stripe. Just get a credit card on file ahead of time. Just get a pre-sale. It's like, look, I'm not going to charge you anything until this thing launches. Obviously, you can credit card things are easy to dispute, so there's no real risk in somebody giving up a credit card, other than if you have to deal with a dispute, it can be a hassle. But there's no real risk, and yet at the same time, it's a big sign of trust. It's a big sign of interest for someone to say, yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yeah, the price point makes sense for me, and yeah, I'm willing to put down a credit card. So yeah, just think about that when you're getting feedback and people are responding positively. Hey, do you think you'd actually pay for this? Ask that question. And then, they might say, yeah, I think maybe, they might not give it totally. If they say like, shut up and take my money, that's a good sign. That's a great sign. If they say, yeah, I think so, maybe, then maybe Jillian will be like, would you like pay for it like right now, or is it something that you could maybe see yourself needing in the next few months, that kind of a thing. If they say maybe next few months, then who knows really how serious they are. What you're really looking for is like, I'd totally pay for this right now. So you wanna try to get to that, and if the answer is no, that's great feedback. That's not like a something to be sad about. That's great feedback. So figure out like, well, what is it that would make this something that like you really totally like need to have like right now, kind of a thing. And then you can listen to that feedback. It still is always a little tricky getting feedback such an early stage, especially when you don't have the product built yet. Once you have it built, it's more concrete. So it is a little tricky to figure out what exactly to do with feedback, at that stage. But if you're deciding between a couple of different features, trying to figure out what to prioritize, and you have somebody that is pretty interested, they're within your target market, and they say, yeah, if it had this feature, I'd definitely pay for it right now. And then especially if you hear that from a couple of people, that's definitely something to pay attention to. So those are my thoughts on the matter. Would love to hear what you think. Post a question or a comment, and thanks so much for listening.